What's going on, guys? This is Steve with Coffee N KOs, and it's time to talk about the UFC's lightweight division because, man, it is turning into quite the shit show, but in the best way possible. Let's be honest. This is awesome. Khabib Nurmagomedov, obviously, he's your current champion, but he's come out said that he's retired. Dana White has not vacated the belt yet. He's holding on to that 0.01% chance that Khabib might return. It's time to give that up. It's time to move things along here because there's a long list of contenders, a long list of fights that can happen. So, number one, Dustin Poirier. For some reason, he seems okay with not fighting for the belt. He's basically come out and said that they can, the UFC can go out and make another fight. He'll kind of circle back around to it. That makes it pretty clear that he's going to go up against Conor McGregor in the trilogy fight that's going to take place definitely this year. I'm thinking summer 2021, especially now with UFC 261 announcing that they're going to have max capacity fans. This is a mega fight. Conor McGregor, Poirier trilogy pay-per-views. That's going to break records. That's an amazing fight. Book it. Also, both of these guys, early 30s, kind of slipping out of their prime a little bit. That needs to happen now. Otherwise, we'll have too many questions. So that takes out number one. That takes out also number 6, Conor McGregor. Now looking at number 2, Justin Gaethje, who's supposedly taking on number 4, Michael Chandler. Awesome fight. No complaints there. If Khabib's title gets vacated, this is going to be your title fight. I don't think anyone's going to have really too big of complaints. Obviously Poirier should be fighting for it, but if he's okay with it, then this makes all the sense in the world. Minus the number 3 ranked guy. We'll get to that later. So Gaethje taking on Chandler. You have Gaethje, awesome wrestling background, phenomenal boxer, one of the best strikers in that division. Michael Chandler might even have a better wrestling background. He definitely utilizes it a lot more. We just saw he just took out Dan Hooker in one shot, so he's very deadly standing up. So that's going to be an absolute banger. Can't wait for that one to go down. That takes out your number 2 and your number 4. Number 3, Charles Oliveira. We're going to get into that one at the end. So number 5, Tony Ferguson, he's scheduled to take on number 9, Beneil Dariush. This is a phenomenal fight. Kind of rounds out the top 5 here. We're going to see what happens. Tony Ferguson, 2-fight skid, has not looked great. I'm thinking they are thinking this is kind of a bounce back fight for him. But when you look at Beneil Dariush's last fight against Diego Ferreira, I mean, his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu might just be the best in that division outside of Charlie Olive. So Dariush, and the way that Tony Ferguson lost to Oliveira, I think Dariush is going to have a real chance to crack the top 5 here. So this is an awesome top 10 fight to make. I'm very excited about that one. Make sure to go check out one of our videos. Zach made an awesome video kind of breaking that one down. So that takes out number 5. Number 9, moving to number 7, we have RDA. This fight seems pretty obvious. There's been a lot of back and forth between these two guys. The fight was actually supposed to be booked. I think it was booked back earlier last 2020. I think it was around the November, October timeframe. But Islam Makhachev, RDA, that fight is going down. RDA looked awesome against Paul Felder, dropping back down to 155. He is definitely no slouch. Islam is going to have his truest test to date. So we'll see where Islam is at. He's riding at number 11 right now, has all the hype in the world. He is the Khabib protege, the prodigy that's going to take over this division. We will see how that goes with RDA. That brings us to number 8, Dan Hooker, number 10, Paul Felder. These guys have already fought each other. They're also both on a couple of fight skids. So we want to see them really bounce back. Paul Felder, he's taking all these short notice fights. He needs a legitimate fight, a legitimate training camp, because he is such an awesome fighter to watch. And he keeps taking these tough L's, but whatever. He'll figure it out. I know he will. He said he wants to take it more seriously after he does his whole, triathlon thing. Number 8, Dan Hooker, 2-fight losing streak right now. Obviously has a ton of talent. I think he kind of got screwed up with the whole COVID preparation. He was stuck in Fight Island for like 3 months, didn't get to see his family. So I'm hoping that he makes a big bounce back because he's a young guy, definitely has a lot of skill there. So we'll see where he goes next. And that kind of rounds out the top 10. But just kind of going back to Charles Oliveira, number 3, I don't have a problem with Geichi Chandler, but in my opinion, I think it should be Oliveira Chandler. I think Oliveira, just with the 9-fight win streak, he's finishing everyone outside of Tony Ferguson, a fight in which he came very close to finishing. He's just super deserving of this. I get it. He's not the most marketable guy. I think that's where he kind of has the disadvantage here. But in my opinion, I think he is the guy who should be getting the title shot next. So what do you guys think? Justin Gaethje Chandler, is that the fight to make for the belt when Khabib vacates? Do you think Dustin Poirier is making the right call going with the trilogy fight with Conor? Or should he be sticking around? Or should he even just be crowned the unanimous lightweight champ? So a lot of questions to be answered here. Oliveira, I think he should be getting the title shot. Do you agree with that? And yeah, we'll talk to you guys next time, but make sure to check us out. We are Coffee N KOs at Coffee N KOs 1. That's on Instagram and Twitter. We have a bunch of stuff up on YouTube. Make sure to check out our podcast. We're on all major platforms. So thanks for tuning in, and we will talk to you next time.